In this video, we're going to see how we can generate a DeepSeek API key to work with our MCP project. Well, if you want to see what MCP is, you can watch the MCP introduction video. In that video, it is explained how MCP works, specifically for Slurp'it, and how you can actually leverage LLMs to talk with just natural language with your infrastructure. In this particular video, I want to specifically see how we can generate a DeepSeek API key and put it inside our project and make MCP calls. So from the Slurp'it IO organization page, you go to Slurp'it MCP server project, you clone down the project and basically alter the environment variables. Environment variables are provided as examples in the beginning, .env.example, but you have to make a copy of those as those are just references and rename it to .env. There are two environment variable files. One is inside clients folder and the other one is inside the server folder. In fact, if I go to my text editor, you can actually see it, .env inside clients, another .env inside server. Regarding the server, you don't need to actually do much. It's not relevant for this particular video. The server would be only your Slurp'it host, and I'm using our sandbox instance, and the API key, which you can again generate from the sandbox. And if you're using the sandbox, then you probably are going to use the same API key. I'm going to close this. What I want to alter is the environment for the client's container or client's project. And I'm using model as DeepSeek /DeepSeek-chat. What I want to do is generate and put an API key inside here. Keep in mind that if you're using any of these models, you have to remove or at least comment out all the other ones, so it's not going to interrupt our process. Additional variables are MCP URL, memory enabled, and verbose, which is set to false. So back to browser, I'm going to go to DeepSeek documentations and I'm going to apply for an API key. This puts me inside my profile. We have to create an account or log in with Google and authenticate. Then you go to usage, see your balance. If you don't have any balance, you have to top up. If you don't have the balance, then you can generate the API key, but on the downside, you are not able to actually make an API call. But generating them and testing them are free. So I'll go back to API key, create new API key. I can give it an option, for example, test MCP Slurp'it, and create the API key. Copy. I'm going to copy and put it somewhere because after that, I'm not able to see this API key anymore. In order to test my API key, there is this useful website called trevorfox.com/API key tester. If I go here, I can see all the models, and basically I'm able to test the API keys for many models. I'm going to choose DeepSeek, click on this button and paste in my API key and try to test it. It's not going through. It tells me that I have insufficient balance. Well, regarding the OpenAI API key I tested, you could actually test your API key. You would have got 200, even if you didn't have any balance. But with DeepSeek, we're not able to even verify this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an API key that actually has balance because I want to be able to make those API calls and talk to my Slurp'it. So back to my editor, I am going to paste in my API key and save it. Now I will go to my terminal, and from here I am going to actually see if Docker containers are running, Docker PS, and I have a few. So in order for the Docker to read the environment variables again, I have to recreate the containers, either say Docker compose down and up again, or I can say Docker compose up -d and -- force create. It is actually recreate, not create. So this is going to recreate the containers and read the environment variables one more time, or basically refresh them. There we go. If I run this line, which is provided in the documentations, it puts me inside the container and runs this main.py, which is the entry file to our project. As you can see, it tells me that model is DeepSeek. So we are reading the correct environment variables. We know that. And from here, I am going to enter my prompt. From the example MCP prompts, I'm going to see what useful prompts I have, so I can just copy them and get something back. So I'm going to choose this one, list all available vendors supported by the Slurp'it platform. I'm going to paste and enter. It's going to take a few seconds, so I will come back. And we get the response back. We get the available vendors and something more descriptive in the end. So this is how you could generate DeepSeek API key. In the future videos, we're going to check for other basically LLMs and how we can generate API keys for those as well.